Yes, boys and girls, mums and dad, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video on the 1-0 channel. I'm Costa, thank you for tuning in. If you do enjoy what's going to come up, if you disagree with it, drop in the comments, do all that funny business, like, subscribe. I want to reach 400 subs. Make it happen. Thank you. So, you want to see by the thumbnail and the title, why Ole deserves more respect. I know what you're probably thinking, what do you mean? You know, Ole's got a lot of haters, United have got a lot of haters. I'm a Man United fan myself, so I'm going to try and be as unbiased as I can. But for someone who, in a year where we're seeing Lampard go out and buy a lot of players, get financial backing to the max, but then get sacked. And the year where we're seeing Arteta, who, yes, doesn't have as good of a squad, but, you know, not really having a lot of questions about him. And those three always came up in a similar conversation, whether it was Ole, Arteta, Lampard, because ex-players, club legends. I think Ole's passed them 100%. He's gone, you know, out of this world as opposed to them, because well, first of all, he's kept his job. He's got to finish second with his Manchester United team, which has got unbelievable players. You know, we've got the Bruno Fernandes, we've got the Pogba, we've got the Rashford, the Greenwood. But I want to look back at where this all kind of started with when he came in as a caretaker coach. And you could see straight away there was a change. Well, obviously coming off Mourinho, we've got two completely different coaches. We've got Mourinho, who kind of maybe held that barrier between personal relationships with players, as opposed to Ole, from what we've heard, is very open to getting to know the player and, you know, just being a bit more of a supporter base than what we've heard, you know, Rashford maybe come out and say was something that Mourinho didn't really pick up on. And, you know, obviously he had his honeymoon period where we won all the games. That's ended up where he got his job. But let's look at where Man United's biggest problems were when he first came in. And it was a lot of the dead wood. You know, we had so much dead wood. We had Chris Smalling still there. You know, there was Fellaini. We've still got Phil Jones, but, you know, Ashley Young. You know, even at that time, Jesse Lingard, where, yes, he's only just left for a loan period now, but Lukaku, he wasn't afraid to say, you know what, and, you know, Andreas Pereira, these players who just weren't good enough for Manchester United, but he wasn't afraid. Yes, Lukaku was a big signing, but he wasn't afraid to go, you know what, you're not what we need, so leave. Ashley Young's probably a club legend, you know, he was captain also, but the time's done. We need to get other players in. You know, we brought in Wan-Bissaka for that right back position. That left back was poor. Ashley Young would move there. We continue to progress, you know, Luke Shaw, who's right now probably the best left back in the Premier League, even questionably top 5, top 6 in the world right now. So Ole did come in, and yes, this is all a process. This all takes time, but Ole came in and he got rid of that dead wood. Slowly but surely is building the team that he wants. You know, we look at this team now. Bruno Fernandes is obviously here for years to come. Unbelievable player. We've got a Dean Henderson who he could have easily said, you know what, he's not going to play because De Gea for years has been one of the best in the world. He's not going to play. Maybe we can sell him, get a bit more money, play someone else. No, we kept Dean Henderson. We've given him minutes. And whether it be next year or the year after, will most likely become Manchester United's number 1 goalkeeper. So we've kept that. The goalkeeper position, I think, is safe for years to come. We went out and signed Harry Maguire, who, yes, was questionable in his first season or two at United. But this year he's been, I think, extremely underrated. Every centre-back has got a couple of bloopers in them, but Harry Maguire has transformed the defence majorly. I know people will probably got to laugh and say, Costa, what are you talking about? But Harry Maguire's been rock solid. He's been exceptional, to be honest. He's been very good. Yes, we do need a partner to follow in there. I think a centre-back is a must. We went in, signed a Wan-Bissaka. That right-back spot, I think, is kept for many more years to come. We've obviously got Luke Shaw, I mentioned before. One thing that people didn't think was ever going to happen was the relationship with Manchester United and Paul Pogba to be at a suitable level. I think Pogba stays at United for many more years now. I think Ole has to take a lot of credit for fixing that Pogba relationship. I think from what I've heard or from what I've read is Ole took his time to sort of say, this is what we need from you. What do you need from us? And that's that sort of thing that United needed to get after we had a Moyes and a Van Gaal and a Mourinho, who were all very different coaches, but Mourinho and a Van Gaal especially are they good Yes, they're probably good team managers, but are they good man managers? And that's one thing Mourinho's kind of come under flack a bit with the clubs he's been at recently, with Bale, with at Tottenham as well, and Manchester United with Rashford coming out recently saying, he kind of gave him a slight dig. So we look at how he's kind of built the squad. Rashford, Greenwood. We look at the squad. I personally think he doesn't get enough credit with what he's done with that squad. Yes, we've missed out on signings. Don't think that's just his issue. I think he's tried. I think he's got a clear plan, Ole, which I don't think fans always knew he had. But I think slowly but surely you can see what his plan is starting to look like and where he wants his team to go. Has his football been questionable at times? Is it the most exciting football I've ever seen? No, not really. Are we very difficult to watch at times? Yeah. But we finished second in a season where where City were going to win the league. But in a season where Chelsea had gone out, bought unbelievable players, and were expected to arguably win the title, finished second. Where we finished second in a league where Liverpool coming off being one of the strongest ever English teams. Yes, they had Van Dijk injury, but a good team supporting them. Liverpool were taken out of that equation. We've performed better than them. The likes of Leicester or West Ham are up there now. So Ole has been able to persistently and consistently make results in the Premier League, whether it never really felt like we were a second place team. And maybe that's just the United of a couple of years ago. We could lose this game. Our record at home has been poor, which I think is something that we need to make a fortress once again. Whether that changes when fans do come back in, possibly could happen. But it's all, I feel like Ole just doesn't get the respect he deserves, which is interesting, because the big thing for him now, and before this comes out, United, we haven't played the final yet, so I think this should be out before the Europa League final. He obviously had that curse of, he lost a lot of semi-finals. If he can go out and in the same season finish second and win the Europa League, yes, Man United's goal shouldn't really be to win the Europa League, but we've also got to limit our expectations at times like this, which I think other clubs don't really understand what to do. Did it take time? Hell yeah. But I think we've realised that maybe when you can't really win the Champions League now, maybe next year we might. You see what Chelsea's doing. If you get it lucky, you're not lucky because Chelsea were obviously good, but if you can get some things going your way, you never really know. If you can win a trophy, and especially the Europa League right now, which is the only trophy we can get this remainder of the season, I think Ole needs to get credit as much as Brendan Rodgers does. I mean, Brendan Rodgers is a bit disrespected also. I know it's at different clubs. But I think we've got to start saying, you know what? Maybe we were wrong about Ole. I was watching Poland and Vuj. Poland was a big Ole hater. And he came out and said, you know what? You proved me wrong. And it's credit to Ole, because there was so much news in the off-season to wanting to sign a Sancho, wanting to sign a Haaland, wanting to sign a centre-back. We didn't get any of those. Last day, we signed a Cavani, and he's made the most out of Cavani. Arguably, he's done to Cavani what a lot of other managers might not have been able to do. And again, I think that the factor of, and especially in this day and age, having to build relationships with players, and then having that same focus and ability to coach them and have that respect, I think that's huge. So I think I'm happy with Ole. I wanted Pochettino, and I've said it on this a while ago. I wanted Pochettino. When he was on the table, I would have sacked Ole like that and brought in a Pochettino, purely because I think he's a better manager, he's a better coach. I think technically he's a better coach. But what I think the worst thing United could do now is sack an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer if he doesn't perform. Next, I think there's nothing to say United can't win the league next year. And I'm going to go out and say it early. I think we win the league next year. If we can sign a Sancho, a holding midfielder, and a centre-back, even just two of those three, 21 is coming, baby. I think it could be big. I think it could be huge. But let me know what you think about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Do you think he is disrespected? Do you think he deserves a bit more respect in terms of media and just fans across the world. I think what he's done with the team, and something that Arsenal can look at is, okay, we had the honeymoon period where it was sweet. Then we fell off a bit, but we didn't react straight away. We gave him a bit more time. We said, you know what, here, keep pushing, see how it goes. And if that's something that Arsenal can do with Arteta, you never know. You never know. I don't like how coaching jobs now are almost a 2-3 year thing. I think you've got to give them time. You've got to give them time to really, because it takes a while to establish their plan and to build the team that they really want to build and infiltrate their beliefs and their values throughout the whole squad and the club. So overall, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is my manager, is my gaffer. I think he does deserve a bit more respect. I think the Europa League trophy is big for him. It almost feels like he needs a trophy. And I'm interested whether once we do officially win a trophy, whether people go, oh, Ole did this, Ole did that, Ole was good with this, you know? So it'll be interesting to see. That wraps us up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning into another 1-0 video. If you think I've just absolutely said a bunch of random stuff, drop in the comments. What do you disagree with? I'll be in there. I'll message you. We'll have a bit of fun. Go follow the Instagram _1-0. You know, it's all good banter on there. Also, if you did enjoy, like, subscribe, do all that funny business. I'm Costa. This is 1-0. Deuces.